Good Monday morning. I'm Mark Middleton, live at Growing Boulder headquarters with a special Active Aging Week report. We've got two great videos to share, and then I'm going to tell you how to download a free playbook for active aging. This is the 20th anniversary of Active Aging Week, presented by Humana. It was started by the International Council on Active Aging back in 2003 as a reminder that the lifestyle choices that we all make don't just add years to our life, but more importantly, they will add life to our years. They increase our health span. In fact, recent studies have shown that genetics may account for as little as 20% of our longevity, and it's our lifestyle that's responsible for the other 80%. And you don't have to make dramatic changes in your lifestyle. You don't have to join a gym. You don't have to become a competitive athlete, although both are not bad ideas. Active aging simply means engaging in life in your own way. It's just about adapting to our changing environments, no matter our age, our abilities, our opportunities, or our challenges. It's just about living with passion and purpose. Active Aging Week, by the way, runs through Sunday, and we'll be celebrating every day, sharing the important keys to whole person health. These are the things that the International Council on Active Aging calls the 7 dimensions of wellness. And we're going to do it through the stories of real people, ordinary men and women that you can relate to and that you will be inspired by. And today, we begin with a simple question.
Who wants to live to be 100? Who doesn't want to live to be 100 if you're able to enjoy it? If you have a health span that matches your lifespan, if you have a quality of life like Roy Engler.
It's no different than being 59 or 69 or whatever. It's fun. It's fun. I always have fun. I just keep growing bolder.
We all have more power over how we age than we realize. Our daily lifestyle choices may not only impact how long we live, but more importantly, how well we live. It's a lifestyle that helped Willie Sproul recover from serious injuries suffered as an Army paratrooper.
I cracked my spine, my pelvis, jumping out of aircraft. I was on all these narcotics, walking with a cane and couldn't think clearly. Sometimes it brings me to tears when I think about it, of what I've been through and what I've had to overcome.
Willie turned his life around when he began walking, then running. He stopped taking pain pills and started working out. He found friends and encouragement in the track and field community.
But being out here on the track and around the seniors, people 50 and over, with all this positive energy, I can't go wrong. I cannot go wrong.
We all want a quality of life that brings us joy and allows us to live with passion and purpose, no matter how old we are or what our individual challenges might be. Active aging simply means engaging in life in our own way to the extent that we're able. It's about leaning into life and learning to adapt to our changing environments, no matter our age, abilities, opportunities, or challenges. Diet Sauer was a heavy smoker and drinker who quit both when she was 39.
Which I thought was going to make me healthier, but it ended up leading me straight to food, so I blew up to about 250 pounds. I was sedentary, I was miserable, and the funny thing is, I thought, well, maybe this is just how it is at 40, and you just feel old and you are old. And which is crazy because my life has flipped so much that at 81, I don't even feel old.
Diet turned her life around when she learned to swim and found a community that supported and inspired her to keep going. Vivian Stansel used swimming and the encouragement of others to overcome obesity, heart disease, and the loss of her eyesight.
You will not ever hear me say, poor Vivian. You will not ever hear me say, because I'm blind, I can't do it. I can do anything that I put my heart to doing.
Jack Eckenrode is a 95-year-old Humana game changer who inspires everyone around him. His secret to active aging, family, faith, and his bicycle.
Because biking is a simple sport. And even you're 75 or 85, you still can bike. There's trails being built all over the United States, and so take advantage of it.
Jack, Vivian, Diet, Willie, and Roy all remind us that the lifestyle choices we make every day don't just add years to our life, but more importantly, life to our years. More time with those we love, doing the things we enjoy, and making a difference in the lives of others. So stay tuned as we celebrate active aging and share the International Council on Active Aging's 7 Dimensions of Wellness with daily videos, articles, podcasts, and a downloadable workbook filled with great resources.
This is the week we develop some momentum in our lives and we start making those kind of daily lifestyle choices. And you know, the great thing about that video is that most of those who were featured in the video were not athletes as kids or even young adults. Most, in fact, weren't active at all, but they became active, not just physically, but socially. And now they're not just active, they are proactive. They've improved their diet, they get regular health screenings, they spend more time with those they love, doing the things that they love and making a difference in the lives of others. All right, I mentioned that the International Council on Active Aging has identified 7 dimensions of wellness, all of which act together to lead to a purpose-filled and an engaged life, something we're all trying to make happen in our own lives. And we're going to dig into one of those dimensions each day this week. Today, we're talking about emotional well-being, which is pretty much just the ability to embrace our emotions, both good and bad, to process them and to learn how to express ourselves. Emotional well-being gives us the strength to deal with any of the challenges that we encounter as we age. So I guess the big question is, how can we improve our emotional health? Here are 3 quick tips. Number 1, the experts say practice gratitude. When we learn to focus more on what we have and less on what we lack, our entire world can change. In fact, according to the CDC, practicing gratitude can release stress, it can strengthen our relationships, improve our self-esteem, and boost our immune system. Number 2, man, we got to learn to slow down. The relentless hustle of daily life adds stress, and it does take a toll on our emotional well-being. We need to learn to take a breath and just chill out every now and then. And we've got to have an emotional outlet, something that you enjoy, a hobby or a passion. And that brings us to former NBC national correspondent Mark Potter. The emotional outlet for him was actually a passion that he never knew he had until he needed it in a big way. It's one that helped him deal with some serious loss and find his way forward, and actually has now helped him inspire many others worldwide.
Mark Potter had the kind of career you dream about. You probably saw him reporting from somewhere in the world, chasing big news stories wherever they happened. Wars, hurricanes, drug cartels. Potter risked danger to get the real story and delivered it to you on the network news. He thought, after a 41-year career, it was time for peace and quiet. It was not.
At my retirement party, she almost didn't make it. And she was talking about she was having pains and all this. And immediately we got into a doctor right after my retirement party.
Judith Potter was one of those people who never seemed to get sick, which made this even more of a shock.
And I'll never forget that day. It was like getting hit by a shotgun blast when the doctor said, there appears to be probably some kind of gynecological cancer going on.
And it was bad. It was ovarian cancer, and it was late stage.
As we drove home from that first visit from the doctor, my wife said, I've just been given a death sentence. And I said, no.
Instead of retirement, their days were crammed with appointments, tests, treatments, doctors, and learning all they could.
We had nothing but hope that we were going to beat this. And the initial indications were that we were. The treatment worked really well. The cancer went down. At one point, she went into remission, and we were feeling really good. But then a subsequent diagnosis came that the cancer had returned.
This news was shocking and heartbreaking.
After losing my mother, my father was in very bad shape. I had left a job earlier than I wanted to. There were losses in my life, and now I see my life partner slipping away. That was as bad as, if not worse, than the original diagnosis.
To the point where she started to be worried about you.
And she had every right to be. I was having a really hard time. I mean, I became depressed, I became anxious. I was just fearful, I was angry, I was exhausted more than anything else, because cancer care is 24/7. And she saw that in me, and she said, you know what, if you're going to survive this, I might not, but if you're going to survive this, you need to get out of the house. And so I picked photography, and I started going to Matheson Hammock Park, 1.5 miles from the house, and that's where that journey began.
He began to take photos of the sunrise every single morning, mostly because he could be back home before Judith would need him. He had no idea what a difference it would make.
The most critical mistake I made in cancer care, and I admit this openly, and I urge people not to do what I did, was I isolated. I withdrew into our world alone, the world of cancer, hospitals, doctors, my wife, me, and I shut everybody else out. And that was the worst thing I could have done, because what I did was I shut the door on a lot of support that I could have had. And when I started putting the pictures out, finally on social media, and I started getting some incoming from people, then I realized, oh man, this is really important. And they're saying these make me feel calmer, they give me a reason to get out of bed, some use the word inspiring, and they said, we want more. Can you keep doing this? And that began a conversation that started pulling me out of the depths. That was as important as anything else, was that reconnection with people who I had pushed away as I focused in too much on just cancer care.
And then on April 12th, 2019, Judith lost her battle. Mark would have been left with nothing. But as insignificant as it seems, his sunrise photography routine was a lifeline, a never-ending gift from Judith that helped him keep going.
It gave me a purpose. It gave me a purpose. It gave me a reason to get up out of bed every day, besides taking care of my wife. And that continued after her passing 4 years ago. It gave me a purpose every day to get up and put these photos out, learn how to do this, get better, and always put them out and share them with people.
4 years after her death, and he still gets up before the sun, takes his photos, and posts them on Facebook and Instagram, helping others who are struggling to hold on to hope, reminding them of the beauty brought by each new day.
What would she think of you today?
I've thought about that a lot. I think she'd be happy that I'm doing something that I like. I think she'd be proud that these photos are helping other people, and people are telling me that the photos help them. And I also think she'd be really miffed at me for talking so much about her. She would be like, would you know, just cool it a little bit, you know?
But the difference, Mark, the difference is many times we get stuck in grief. We just remember the end instead of remembering the essence of the person. And by continuing to do what she suggested, you're honoring
absolutely
the best part of her.
Yeah, and I don't want you to think that I'm over the grief. It doesn't go away, and it hits me every day, some aspect of it.
So how do you deal with that?
It just compartmentalize it. It's part of your life, and you realize if you're grieving that much, you must have loved somebody a whole lot to be feeling that way, and I did. I think about every sunrise. You know, every sunrise is inspired by her.
And as great reporters do, Potter wants you to know his story. He's put it together in a picture book filled with hundreds of photos and an essay about a loving couple and what through them we can learn about life and, maybe more important, how to cope with loss.
The message is we all have hard times. We all have to figure out how to get through it. And I think the best way out is to find purpose in your life that honors the person you're missing and that helps other people. If you've got that going on, you're gonna walk through that door and you're gonna do better. You're never gonna lose your grief. You're never gonna lose your love for that person, but you're gonna be able to put your feet in front of each other and go on and do other things. And what keeps you doing it is the response you get from the people you help. That's the shot of the day right there.
Right there.
That's it.
Wow.
By pushing Mark to live his life, Judith gave him quite a gift. And by creating this book, Mark returns the favor by honoring her legacy. But ultimately, this gift is from the Potters to all of us.
I mean, this book is it's three things. It's a love letter. It's a big thank you note to all the people that supported us originally and then came to my aid and my support and all of that later. And it's a warm hug for anybody that's having a hard time. And who's that? Everybody.
Beautiful photos, a powerful story, and an important message, folks. Mark's passion for photographing sunrise turned out to be the perfect outlet for him when he needed something for his emotional well-being. And although it was never his plan, it did grow into something that has helped others. As he says, it gave him purpose, another key to emotional well-being. All right, this is the 20th anniversary of Active Aging Week presented by Humana, a week-long reminder that the lifestyle choices that we all make on a daily basis don't just add years to our life, but more importantly, they add life to our years. So please join us all week as we celebrate active aging and we reveal the 7 dimensions to wellness and the keys to whole person health. And to help you turn Active Aging Week into an active aging life, we've partnered with Humana and the International Council on Active Aging to create a special series of videos, podcast articles, and a free downloadable ebook that's full of stories. It's got tools, activities, takeaways, and a whole lot more. Just click on the link that we're putting in the comments now to download our complimentary playbook for active aging. And if you're anywhere near Central Florida, please join us for our own Active Aging Week event, Growing Bolder Day, presented by the Senior Resource Alliance, is this Saturday, October 7th at the Center for Health and Wellbeing in Winter Park. We're going to start the day with an intergenerational wisdom walk, a 1-mile walk with folks of all ages. It starts at 7:30 in the morning. And then after that, we've got social gaming, yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, a Growing Bolder mini film fest, free professional portraits, a complimentary light breakfast. We've got a Rock Stars of Aging longevity forum with some of the coolest older adults that we know, a pickleball demonstration, an interactive drum circle, free t-shirts, healthy nutrition demonstration, falls prevention, chronic disease management, caregiving resources, inspiring speakers, engaging demonstrations, and more. It's all in Growing Bolder Day, and we'll put a link to Growing Bolder Day below as well. All right, so the big takeaway today, let's all lean into life. Let's look at aging through a lens of possibility instead of limitation. In fact, the folks at AgeWave just released a new landmark study, and one of the most encouraging findings is that 71% of all U.S. adults age 65 and older now say the best time of their life is right now or still in front of them. And that's powerful, folks, because what the mind believes, the body embraces. So always believe that more is possible, and let's turn Active Aging Week into an active aging life. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.